Ansible setup can be done in Google Cloud with simple 5 steps. The first step is create 3 minimum instances in Google Cloud platform. One instance is for installing the Ansible, and which we call this as container. Other 2 instances for managing nodes. Once the 3 instances are created, the next step is connect to the container machine and generate keys. Once the keys are generated in the source system, or which we call as container system, now connect it to the managing server and update the public key which is generated in the step 2 to maintain the connection between the source system and destination system. Do the similar exercise that you performed in the step 3 for the another managing server also. The last step is install Ansible in the container machine and do some examples. Create a Google Cloud account. Now log into Google Cloud with the account that you already have. If you do not have any Google Cloud account, please refer to my previous video, which clearly gives an idea how to create an Google Cloud account. So log into Google Cloud account that you already have. The first step is create 3 instances. One instance is for the container where we install the Ansible, and the remaining 2 instances acts as a managing nodes, which are the target servers. So for that, log into the Google Cloud and go to the VM instances from menu, Compute Engine, VM instances. Create instance. Give name of the instance as the name that you need. I am giving as SRL Ansible container, and select the region that you need. I'll be selecting as Asia South 1, Mumbai, and select the OS that you need. So for demo purpose, I'll be selecting CentOS 7. We can select any of the OS flavors that you need for your purpose. So firewall, I'll allow HTTP protocol as well as HTTPS protocol to access the application, and expand this management security, this networking option. And preemptability, select as no, and then create. The instance with the name that has given is getting created. It will take a couple of seconds, not more than that. As soon as the instance has been created, the internal IP address and external IP address will be assigned. So let's create another 2 more instances for managing nodes. SRF Ansible managing node 1 as given. South Asia. Select the OS. Allow both HTTP and HTTPS traffic and expand this management security this option. And select preemptability on. Click on create button. The server or mission VMware has been created and associated the internal IP address as well as the external IP address. Let's create another managing node. As given Ansible YAML2. Select the region. Into OS, select the traffic, HTTP, HTTPS, expand, manage security disk option, and scroll down and select preemptively as on. Click on create button. Okay. So the step 1 has been completed. The step 1 is create 3 instances, 1 instance for a container and 2 instances for the managing nodes. Now, the next step 2 is connected to the container server through the IP address associated or provided by the Google Cloud. Now connect to this server through PuTTY. So the IP address associated for this server is 352.0.0.192.130. And you need to provide the private key which has been saved in the previous session. If you do not know how to generate the public key and private key from PuTTY Gen tool, please refer to my previous video, which clearly gives how to generate the keys from PuTTY generated tool. Click open. So for the first time when you try to connect to the server, it will prompt you saying that do you want to allow this key permanently? You click on yes. The name of this user is SRL Techno. So if you forget what is the name of your username, so you could have updated this username in the Google Cloud. For that, you can go to metadata just to ensure that what is the name of the user ID. go to SSH keys. If you see here, these are all of the usernames that are active. So the latest or updated one is SRL Techno. So this is the latest username that I'm using. Yeah, I have authenticated to the container server. You see, this is my container name, which we have created in Google Cloud. Let me go back to VM instances. SRO Ansible container. Okay. When I entered host name, it given name of the container name. Okay. So just let's see what is their files. So if you see, you don't have any files under our home directory. However, you go to SSH is a hidden file. Any files that which starts with dot are hidden files. So this is the default file which has been created by the Google. If you want to see the content of this, you can just go to with cat. If you see added by Google. So this is step 2. Let how to generate key over here. Just enter SSH-gen key, which will generate keys over here. And for the first time, it is asking enter file in which to save the key. Don't enter any value, just enter key. Click on enter key, then again enter, enter. So just enter 3 times. So now if you see under SSH, it will be created, 3 files will be created. One is authorized keys already, which we already have, and these are the 2 files which has been created. One is id underscore rsa.pub, the other one is id underscore rsa. So what is the difference between these 2 files is id underscore rsa.pub, which is a public key, and this public key can be given to the external systems where we use it to do a SS connection from this server to the target systems. And id underscore rsa, this will be having the private key. And private key should not share to anybody. You can share only the public key. So when I open id underscore rsk, says that RSA private key. Please do not share this private key to anybody. If you want any target systems or other system to access your server, then use the public key which is available in this file. If you see the public key, the name of user SRL Techno, and this is the host name. So that means that the public key will be authenticated with this username and the host name. Okay. Now we have generated the keys in the source system. Now let's try to connect it to the managing nodes. With the IP address. To putty, enter host name. Under connections, go to SSH, select auth, browse, select the private key. It prompts you whether, since it is the first time that we are connecting, click yes. I'm successfully able to connect to the managing node. Host name, if you see, this is my host name, same as the one which is there in the Google Cloud. Current directory is SRL Techno. Go to SSH. You can find one file over here, that is authorized keys. this is the key generated by the Google Cloud. Now, if you wanted to do SS connection from source system to target system, for example, now this is our container server. Okay. Now, if I want connected to our managing node through SSH, so SSH and the IP address 3493 SE. Okay. As soon as I'm trying to connect it to the managing node from the container server. So what it says, are you sure you want to connect? Yes, I'll give yes. But if you see there is a permission denied, that means that this server do not have access or privileges to connect it to your managing node. So for that, what we need to do is we need to update this public key, which is available in the id underscore rsa.pub to the managing node server. So for that, to copy the public key from the container server to the managing node server under authorized keys file. Okay. I just copied this public key from container server into the managing node server in the file authorized underscore keys. Okay, let me run the same command. Let me try to connect it to the managing server from the container server, and let's see. If you see now, it got successfully connected to our managing node after updating our public key in the managing node server. And if you see the host, now you are switched from the container server to the managing node server. Got it? So this is how you establish the connection or switch from one server to another server by updating the public key in the target server. So now what I do, I'll exit. So when I exit, I'll come back to my host server, that is container server. Now let's do same exercise for the managing node server too as well. As the IP address is 35220.217.74. Update the key, select the key that generated here, open it, click yes. It is .ssh. Now what we should do is open the authorized keys, go to the container here, you need to copy the public key from the source system to the destination system. So here source is the container server and destination is the managing node server. Save the file in the managing tool. Now try to connect it to the managing node server from the container server. Give as S. It successfully got established the connection to the managing node 2 from the container server. And if you see, it has been switched to our managing node server. Now, if I type host name, it will give that I am in the managing node 2. Okay. I'll exit to come back to my controller. Now I am in the container server. So what we have done so far is we have created 3 instances. One instance is for the Ansible container and the 2 instances are the managing nodes. And we have created or generated the keys on the source system that is in the container server, and we have updated the public key in the managing nodes, and then we established the connection. So now the connection between these servers has been established. The next step is how to install Ansible in the container. The command to install Ansible is sudo yum install y Ansible. It takes a couple of seconds to install the required packages, libraries of Ansible. If you see the version over here, Ansible 2.9.2 is getting installed. Okay, it got successfully installed Ansible over here. So now let's check what is the version of the Ansible that got installed. Use Ansible --version to check the Ansible version. And if you see here, the version that has been installed is Ansible 2.9.2 version. And the home directory is etc/Ansible. If you go to the home directory, you can find 3 files minimum. So one is the folder roles where you maintain all the roles, and other 2 files are, one is Ansible configuration file and the other one is the hosts file. So these are the minimum files that need to be available once Ansible successfully installed. If you don't find any of the files, that means that your installation went somewhere wrong and you may need to reinstall the Ansible software again. If you want, you can change default location of these files. So how do we change is the current location is /etc/Ansible. So if you want to change the default location, we can create same files and folder in another directory. So I'm creating under home and my username, touch. So now I have created ansible.config and hosts and roles folder under my home directory. Now update config file as below. So defaults, inventory, give the inventory path, and give host key. Log path. You can give any name of the log file. I'm just giving no log false. And the next tag is privilege. So you can give become yes, and if you want the sudo to be enabled, become method sudo. Save the file. Now go to the hosts. Take the IP address of the managing node server. You can give for example mn1 has given a tag and the IP address. You can get this IP address from Google Cloud under instances. Say the IP address. So now I added managing node IP address in the host file. So let me execute Ansible command from container server. Ansible give mn1 with, that is the name which is updated in the hosts file. Just this command is to list what are the hosts are updated in the host file. If you see, this is the IP address that we have updated in this hosts file and got listed over here. So now let me update managing node to IP address in the host file. Save the file. Now run the Ansible command. It listed both IP address. Okay. So that means that from the container server, you are able to hit these two manage node servers. So this is now you can do your XSS Ansible programs from this container server. Okay. So your Ansible setup has been completed and ready to do your programs from the container server with the two target servers.